Minnesota has had a third major political party since 1994. The Independence Party of Minnesota was officially launched in 2000 after it ended its affiliation with the Reform Party. The Independence Party has routinely fielded candidates for office throughout Minnesota. This year, in Minnesota's 6th congressional district, John Denney is the IP candidate. Denney, a lifelong resident of the district, points to his personal experiences as a constituent in the district as the driving force behind his running.
Throughout my whole life, I have felt very underrepresented. What I mean by that is the major parties, you got your Republican and your Democratic talking points, these do not represent me. And I've felt like for most of my life, I don't even have a candidate to vote for.
For 6 straight elections, voters in the district have sent a Republican to Washington. But Denney believes that labeling the 6th district as a Republican stronghold is a mistake.
To those out there who think that this is just a staunch Republican district, a Bible Belt only going to vote in one social conservative way kind of district, they're very wrong. And when I make my rounds, I'm finding that that is the truth. They're not a far-right district, they're a common sense district.
Denney is pulling out all the stops to convince voters that he will change the way Washington operates. He has even gone as far as to produce a legally binding contract that will hold him to certain standards.
Specifically, what this contract says, 2 big things, okay? First, I do not accept donations from PACs, unions, corporations, or any other entity that is not a human person who lives inside the state of Minnesota. Second, and this is a big one, this really solves the problem with the revolving door. I have self-imposed a lifetime ban on lobbying.
The contract, which was drafted by an ethics lawyer who served President George W. Bush, includes what Denney is calling a money-back guarantee for 6th district residents.
If I ever accept a donation from a non-human person, from a PAC, a union, a corporation, anything of this nature, I will immediately pay back that contribution as well as my entire congressional salary. Everything I've earned from John Q. taxpayer up until that point will go immediately back to 6 district charities. And so it's a money-back guarantee, right, in that sense. Also, with lobbying, if I was to ever become a lobbyist, you would get all of that money back.
Denney also has his sights set on changing the American tax code in order to, as he sees it, simplify the tax-paying experience so any American can calculate their taxes in about an hour.
A flat tax would be very, very important for the lower income and the middle class is really what we're trying to do, is build that robust middle class. And a flat tax, it eliminates a lot of the loopholes that you'll see that are placed in this, what is supposedly a progressive tax system, which I actually think is a very regressive tax system. A lot of loopholes and things are placed in this. It's a very complicated tax system, and it creates a situation where if you can afford a high-priced tax lawyer, then you can partake in all these little loopholes and you will pay a much smaller effective tax rate than the small guy, than the little guy who can't afford to go through his taxes in that same way. And so I believe you should be able to do your taxes on the back of a napkin.
Denney is also focusing on issues that are important to the younger generation that he is a part of. He recently laid out a plan to combat the student debt crisis.
And it's a way to help alleviate the student debt crisis simply by allowing people who have 401ks to take money out of their 401ks tax-free in the event that they're going to use it to pay down student debt. I would look at amending bankruptcy laws, because it seems really odd that we live in a world where a person can irresponsibly run up credit card debt on houses, cars, toys, whatever, and have that debt discharged through bankruptcy. Yet, when you go to school to better yourself and thereby better the whole country, in my opinion, and which should be all Americans' opinion, educated populace is a good thing. When you go to school to do that bankruptcy, those options are not available to you. You can't discharge that debt through bankruptcy. So I would just ask that we be afforded all the same options of discharge as everyone else. The other, obviously, big thing is just getting down that interest rate at the federal level. Down to about 3% would seem reasonable. 0% seems even more reasonable for a country that looks to push education, it's the way we claim to. But right now, just a huge cut on that would be a big, big big step in the right direction. $66 billion in profit on a year on student loans. That's just another way our American government is putting everything on the lower generation right now, the younger generation.
When campaigning without the R or D next to your name, Denney contends that you must be creative and innovative, but also bring real solutions to real problems, and he feels that he is accomplishing that goal.
I've taken a very innovative approach. I'm committed to just absolute, unprecedented transparency and accountability. Social media posts is the first one. I'm giving you tools to hold me to my plan. Every single vote I cast in the United States House, you can expect a detailed reasoning of that vote on social media, accessible, challengeable, the way I think our politics should be. Second, there's a little GoPro camera that's sitting behind you right now, Ben, that we can't see on camera, but it is filming me, it is filming this room, because we are giving you behind-the-scenes access to this campaign. And also when we get to Washington, we will continue with this behind-the-scenes access so that you can see what's really happening with your representatives. We've given you all kinds of footage right now that's on that website where you can see what's going on with this campaign and you can see what goes on behind the scenes. Third, obviously the biggest tool I'm giving you to hold me to it, going back to the money-back guarantee. This is a very big deal. This is a very big deal. There's never been anything like this in the history of the United States of America. I will be the first congressman to sign it, and it's not a gimmick. It is a tool that you can guarantee that I will be working exclusively in the interest of the 6th District, because you get your money back if I don't.
For North Metro TV News, Ben Hale reporting.